Hi everybody, it's Sandy, and I don't know how we've got here, but we're coming round to another new moon, and I just felt to try and get ahead of my usual trajectory by actually being being a bit ahead of the game this week. Those of you that follow me on my personal Facebook page will know that this last week has been a bit of a doozy. That's probably a technical term for some, for a bit of a challenged week. And I've had a very poorly cat, and just been a really interesting week to try and navigate the intensity of emotion that comes up around our connection with our beloved fur friends that journey with us, and those that have pets and special beings that journey with us. I'll understand the fact that actually concentration this week has been a little bit on the sparse side. It's been more about navigating what's been best for my my beloved cat Kit, who I'm really pleased to say is still with us and is starting to get better and get stronger after a complete wipeout of her system. So anyway, here we are. We've got a new moon, and I mean, so many people are finding this time not without its challenges. You know, this is another one of those contraction and expansion points that's taking us ever closer to the closing of this big cycle of time from 1999 to 2019, and the closing out of a decade of 2 decades of our journey and opening into a new pathway ahead. And we have this new moon coming up on, well, it'll be Tuesday in the UK at 4 degrees of Sagittarius, and it's at 3:05 p.m. here in the UK. And this is another beautiful opportunity for us to make some shift. Hi Jay, hi Hala, hi Sass. In our choices in this path ahead. This is a real opportunity as we come to the close of November and step into the December energies, that there is this opportunity for a shift in consciousness. And I really have noticed it. Hi Susanna. I've really noticed it as I've moved through my own set of challenges this week in not going into overwhelm. I found myself several times almost out of body with the trauma of what I was experiencing with my journey with my cat Kit. And this place in which we have to use all of our mastery, we have to use all of the tools at our disposal to recognize when we've lost that inner core connection, and we've moved into an overwhelmed situation, to bring us back into center. And I really feel that the experiences that we're having at this current time are asking us to come into that place of mastery. So one of the gifts of my experience with Kit in this last week was a further illumination of of a core wound that I'm still working with. And this place of watching, when I bring full attention, I can come back into body, into presence, into the recognition that all is well, all is in divine alignment, and there is a purpose behind everything that is experienced, and that the universe is working in my favor, rather than trying to create absolute meltdown chaos. And it's so difficult, isn't it, when our emotions are connected, when we have deep heart connections with a beloved pet, or a partner or our families, when we have these challenge points to try and get through, then there is this calling again back into knowing that all is well and all is in its right timing, and it's all unfolding just as it needs to. So we are moving into this place of the shortest day. We're moving into this contracted, this yin place of in the universe, in our flow, should I say, through the year. It's like, I see it as almost like the out breath of God and the in breath of God. And this is the point of time when we are meant to come back within. We are meant to withdraw our energy back within. And I was really reminded of this 2 weeks ago when I was on the Writer in Residence retreat in Spoleto in Italy at the Casale Flaminia. And it overlooked this beautiful forest that was honoured and venerated by a goddess called Bona Dea. And prior to going to Italy, I really hadn't heard of Bona Dea. I wasn't familiar with her or her storyline into the 1st century and Rome. And there was actually a temple to Bona Dea in the ancient Roman Forum. And those priestesses that were in service to Bona Dea meted out, herbal remedies and potions, and were there in service to those that came for their help. I thought, I've got a cat that's trying. My other cat is trying to get in the room. So this cult, as it developed, of Bona Dea, really for me was in veneration of the natural world, in veneration of the divine feminine, of nature and the healing path of nature. So it was lovely to be able to watch the changing of the seasons as I looked out of my window in my writer's retreat, and watching the colours of the autumn, and watching the forest drawing back in and underground, drawing back within. And this is our time to come into reflection, time to, as the days become certainly shorter here in the Northern Hemisphere, this is our opportunity not to get distracted into the outer world, but come within, and to be able to spend time by the fire, or spend time in reflection and contemplation of what is calling us to seed in order to breathe out into the energy of the new year as it arrives. I've always been fascinated by this journey into this darkest period, and this place of the Festival of Lights. For me, that the Christmas holidays are very much about the Festival of Lights, and coming into this darkest place, this most yin place within us. We then celebrate with candles, with lights on the trees, and sitting around the fire. And it's very much about this yang impulse of the fire that starts to move the yinness of the waters. So there is this place that we're coming into, this place of holding, this place of nourishment. If we look at the foods, often this time of year we'll be making soups, we'll be using the root vegetables, anything that's bringing us into ground and into center. So, this is a powerful time for us to really consider what has been the journey of this year and what is being let go of. We're coming into this new moon. So what is this about new beginnings for you? Where does 4 degrees of Sagittarius fall in your chart? Where is the inspiration to let go and to allow for there to be space for something new to come in, something new to be nurtured and birthed within you that allows you to open with expansion into this new year. There's a real sense too that we are in this almost like a fork in the road, in so much that we have been able to straddle. We've been able to dance between, like that Pluto-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn, that's been so much on the radar for those that have any connection into the world of astrology, which is so much about, at one level, our experience, our 3D experience here on the earth. And yet there's a much more expansive opportunity that comes when we start to see a different pathway forward. And I don't think it's happenstance that Neptune also, goes direct, stationary direct this week. And here we come into a higher frequency of light, a higher frequency along with the higher frequencies of Uranus and Jupiter that is transited the galactic center in this month of November. So not only are we being asked to have clear strategy, clear foundations, but we also are being called to be visionaries. And that, I think, is a really exciting pathway forward. So these times have an amazing opportunity for us when we actually bring our full attention into what this in-breath and out-breath is for us. Hi, Katie. Thank you for beaming in. So let's look and see what the roses might have for us as wisdom for this particular new moon in Sagittarius, at 4 degrees of Sagittarius. And as I'm shuffling this deck, I'm just reminded to say that with a fair wind, come the next full moon, I will be shuffling the second edition of the Rose Oracle. We're currently organising the shipping of the new Oracle decks. So if you haven't already ordered a deck on the Kickstarter campaign that was active at the beginning of September, you can actually pre-order on the Rose Alchemy website now, and make sure that you have one of the decks that is being airshipped, especially so that we've got them for Christmas. Excuse me, I'm just going to let a cat in. Come on. Yeah. It's quite interesting having two cats and one missing, because actually I'm not too sure he's even clocked that she's not around. Oh gosh. Right. So, what might the roses have? Hi, Babita. What might the roses have to offer us at this particular point in our journey? So we're asking for the wisdom of the roses for this new moon on Tuesday. What is it that the roses have got to say to us for this immediate path ahead? So the first rose that's come forward in our reading today is Rose Bagua 4. Now this rose is the rose that is so connected to wealth and blessings. She sits in the wealth and blessings and abundance place in the Rose Bagua. And this is such an important piece for us now. Excuse me. I have cat ingress. I'm just going to get the Bagua to show you. You'll see. Remember, this is reversed because of the iPhone, but you can see this rose up in here, and she sits, as I say, in the place of wealth and blessings and abundance. This is a beautiful rose for us to be working with. I mean, do ask yourself, what is there for you to be, to be so grateful for, to sit in this place, or this heartfelt place of knowing that you are abundant, that you hold this path of, the opening and being open to the wealth and blessings of the gifts that come through, our loved ones, our family, our soul, brothers and sisters, and, at times, those that seem like strangers in our lives. But when we hold that place within the heart field, there is a wealth and blessing in everything that we come across in the path of our lives. So this is a beautiful, beautiful rose to be working with. She's effortlessly abundant. And you could almost dive into her, couldn't you? She was a rose that found me when I was at Kew Gardens one day, and called me over to photograph her. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Amanda. So what might be the second rose on the reading today? Actually, this one reminds me too, going back from one thing to another, of that golden aspect of the illumination in the Festival of Lights. When we come into the winter solstice, when we come into the Christmas holidays, this gorgeous light from our candles, from our, the lights on the tree. This is the reminder of the blessing that life offers us. So the second card for the reading today. Well, we're obviously going gold today. Rose 9. Rose 9, the solar plexus rose. She's calling us to stay strong. She's calling us to stay in our power. This is the rose that sits on the solar plexus in the Rose 1 set, and she says, I'm totally clear here. There's nothing fluffy about me. I have good boundaries. I know who I am, and I have effortless path of abundance through me. This place of solar plexus, this solar sun energy, it feels to me like these two roses are really prepping us for abundance and for this place of alchemy, this place of moving from the past, moving from the old story, to really harness the gold that's been there in the teaching for us in everything that we've experienced. All the challenges, all of the places when there's been suffering. These are the roses that say, what qualities of beingness did you master through that experience? What was garnered in that experience? And then live from that, lead from that, shine that light forward. So let's have a look and see what the third rose is that wants to come forward for this particular reading. New moons always offer us that opportunity of new beginnings. Where does this rose come in your particular astrology? What is she illuminating for you? And so our third rose in the reading today is Rose Ma 3. And this rose says, I am inner strength. She's from the 5th set in the Rose Oracle. This particular rose says, although I sit in the shadows, still I am beautiful, and I wait until it is my time to shine. And this rose coming up in our readings tells us to be patient, to consistently work on what needs to be released of our inner core wounding, our inner stories, what needs to be released in this new moon energy to enable you to sit in comfort and be able to wait until it is your time to shine. For each and every one of us, there is a right time. And as we stand together and we dig deep and we find where the light is within us and we fan the flames of that light, so we can step forward as illumined beings. And she, here she is. This was a rose that I photographed at the Alhambra in Granada in Spain in 2010. She was there at the very beginning of my journey with the roses in this form. And she was sitting in a rose bed when I came out of the Nasrid Palace. So a lot of the roses that were in the oracle deck were in some of the other big gardens that are around the Nasrid Palace at the Alhambra. She was sitting, I walked up through fountains and steps and up into a rose garden that might not have been noticed so much. And 2 or 3 of the roses in the oracle deck were from that particular part of my journey with the Alhambra. And you can see, here's the light all around her. And she was just waiting patiently till the sun went round, until it illumined her, till the rays of the light shone on her and she could shine. And she was just waiting patiently. So here are our 3 roses. The rose of Rose Bagua 4, abundance, wealth and blessings. We hold that as an aspect of our very beingness. In the Bagua, when I'm working with the Bagua, and as I say, here she is. This is where she sits, and we work through from the center of the Bagua, from the rose heart at the center of the Bagua. And actually, for any of you that are coming this coming Sunday, this is what we're going to be working with. We're going to be working through the lens of your rose heart into what this expression is for you in 2020, what the visioning is in these other 8 aspects of your life. And it's such a fabulous process. Anyway, here she is, this beautiful golden rose. I think she's called Golden Celebration. She's very scented. I believe she's a David Austin rose. This one, just solar plexus, strong. And solar plexus is the center of personal will. So you might want to look at what it is. Is there anything holding you back? Is there anything that is an old story that you could clear now that will help you to be able to bring divine inspiration and actually make it real, make it tangible, make it a substance? And that sort of sits quite well with the Saturn-Pluto in Capricorn. And this is about foundations, this is about structure, this is about really setting your stall, if you like, in what you're wanting going forward. And this one, this real beauty, I am inner strength. Excuse me, I've got a cat. This is just, rest in her. Know that if you hold true to your true alignment, if you hold true to what you know is your path, then at some point the light shines and the path is clear. So there's our 3 roses for this new moon reading. What have I got to tell you? I have got the rose cards arriving in the next 2 weeks. If you haven't already pre-ordered your new Rose Oracle deck with the 52 cards and the 7 levels of the work, you can order them on, if you haven't already done that, on the Kickstarter campaign that was organised in September. You can do that directly on the website. Now there's a pre-ordering system in place, and I've got a full class this coming Sunday, but I have got a space clearing weekend, space clearing and creating sanctuary space for the soul, in the following weekend on the website. And there is another day with the opportunity to do 2020 visioning with me on the 4th of January. So in the meantime, there's also some new online offerings that are going to be going up, some new online classes, some new, a couple of free webinars, and for you to get to know your new Oracle deck well. And what else? Oh, goodness knows. Other stuff will occur in the journey. So, hi, Francesca. Hi, Laura. This is going to be a busy few days. And anybody that's local that would like to be a packing pixie with me when the Rose Oracles arrive, because I'm going to have, there's 150 of them that have got to be parcelled and sent out, which is going to be a bit of a mammoth journey, but it'll be fun. So thank you so much for joining me, and your continued enjoyment of the roses, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. With love and rosy blessings. Bye for now. Bye-bye.